Everyone is chasing some dream in life, but at the end of the day, many of us feel like everything is empty and meaningless. If you have ever felt this way, then today's story is for you. Please watch the story till the end because it might be the key to true happiness in your life. Story. Once in a small village, surrounded by green hills and clear rivers, there lived a young man named Daniel. He was known and respected by everyone for his strong will and courage. Whenever something seemed impossible, Daniel was the first person to step forward. He never sat back. He faced every challenge bravely. But inside Daniel, there was a hidden sadness. No one could see it. Only he could feel it. Even after achieving many things in life, Daniel felt like something was missing. Everything in his life looked fine, but deep inside, he felt that one part of his story was still incomplete. This feeling of emptiness was slowly eating away at him every day. To find peace and answers, Daniel decided to go on a journey. He had heard about a wise old man named Eli who lived in a small wooden hut near the forest. People said Eli's words were like a mirror. When people spoke with him, they began to see themselves in a new way. One morning, Daniel gathered his courage and walked toward Eli's hut. When he reached there, he saw Eli sitting calmly on a chair. There was peace in his eyes and a warm, kind smile on his face. With a voice full of sadness, Daniel said, "Grandpa Eli, I need your help. I work very hard. I try to achieve everything in life, but no matter what I do, I don't feel satisfied. Please tell me, how can I find true happiness?" Eli looked at Daniel for a moment. Then he replied, "I will help you, but first you have to do something simple for me." He pointed to an old wooden bucket nearby and said, "Take this bucket, go to the river every day for 1 week. Fill the bucket with water and pour it into my well. But remember, the bucket has cracks in it." Daniel was surprised, but he didn't say no. The next morning, he started the task just as Eli had told him. He walked in the hot sun, filled the cracked bucket at the river, and carried it to the well. But most of the water leaked out before he reached the well. The bucket was almost empty by the time he got there. Still, Daniel kept doing the task every day. The sun was hot, the work was hard. He felt disappointed because he couldn't fill the well. But even though he didn't understand the reason behind the task, he didn't give up. After 1 week, tired and discouraged, Daniel returned to Eli's hut with the almost empty bucket. "Grandpa," he said, "I failed. I couldn't fill the well." But Eli gave him a gentle smile and said, "You didn't fail. In fact, you did exactly what I wanted. Now turn around and look behind you." Daniel turned around, and his eyes opened wide in surprise. The path he had walked every day, which was dry and dusty before, was now filled with flowers and green grass. "How did this happen?" Daniel asked in shock. Eli's eyes were full of wisdom. He said, "The water that fell through the cracks of the bucket gave life to the path. That water made the dry road green again. This is what life is like, Daniel. We all have flaws, just like the cracked bucket, but that doesn't mean our efforts are useless. True happiness doesn't come from just reaching a goal. It comes from valuing the journey to that goal. It's not the destination that matters the most, it's the impact we leave behind along the way." At that moment, something changed inside Daniel. He understood that even if he didn't get everything he wanted in life, he was still making a difference with every step he took. Somewhere, in some way, he was creating beauty. Daniel returned to his village, not with all the answers, but with a lighter heart and a new understanding of life. This story teaches us a lesson that is deep and powerful. Many times we only focus on the final goal. We think, when I achieve something big, then I will be happy. But like Daniel, we forget. The real beauty is in the journey toward the goal. The cracked bucket is a symbol of our weaknesses, mistakes, and the challenges we face in life. Maybe we don't always get the result we wanted, but every effort we make brings light to someone's life. This story teaches us there is no need to be sad about our flaws. Instead, we should ask, what beauty are we creating along the way? Outro. If this story touched your heart, then please subscribe to our channel and stay with us. Like the video to support us so we can share more stories like this with many more people, and share this video with someone you care about. Thank you, everyone.
Have you ever had that feeling, that quiet sense that something's just not quite right? Even when on paper everything seems, perfect. Maybe you're hitting your goals, chasing dreams, succeeding even, but there's still this feeling that something deeper is missing.
Yeah, an emptiness almost.
Exactly. So today, we're going to take a deep dive into that very feeling. We're using a really profound story called The Cracked Bucket, a journey to true happiness as our guide.
It's a great one.
It really is. It's about looking at true happiness, maybe through a slightly different lens.
Right. And our mission here really is to unpack the core insight from this narrative. Because it's not just some simple moral.
Oh, it's deeper.
It really challenges some basic ideas we have about, satisfaction and meaning. It offers a perspective that could genuinely shift how you see your own efforts, your own journey.
Okay, so let's dive in. The story starts in this small, really peaceful village. Think green hills, clear rivers, very serene. And that's where we meet Daniel. He's a young guy, known by everyone for his amazing willpower, his courage.
Okay, it sounds like a local hero type.
Pretty much. If something seemed impossible, Daniel was always the one to step up. Faced every challenge head on, bravely, just kept pushing through.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right? Despite all that outward success, all the respect he got, Daniel had this hidden sadness. Nobody else saw it, but he felt it deeply. He'd achieved so much, but this feeling, this emptiness, it was just sort of eating away at him every single day.
Wow.
It's a real paradox, isn't it? The world sees success, but inside something feels incomplete.
It really is. And I think, probably a lot of us can relate to that on some level. The external stuff doesn't always line up with the internal feelings.
Exactly. The validation isn't quite enough.
It sounds a bit like that hedonic treadmill idea. You reach one goal and the finish line just moves further away. So what did Daniel do with this dissatisfaction?
Well, he knew he couldn't just ignore it, so he made a big decision. He decided to go searching for peace, for answers.
Okay.
He set off on a journey to find this wise old man, Eli. People said Eli lived in a little wooden hut near the forest.
And what was special about Eli?
Well, the word was that Eli's words, they were like a mirror. They helped people see themselves and their lives in a new way.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
So Daniel finds him.
He does. And when he finally meets Eli, he just pours his heart out. You can imagine his voice, heavy with sadness.
Yeah.
He said, "Grandpa Eli, I need your help. I work so hard. I try to achieve everything in life, but
Well,
no matter what I do, I just don't feel satisfied. Please," he asks, "tell me, how can I find true happiness?"
that's such a raw, universal question, isn't it? We all strive, we work hard, but that deep satisfaction, sometimes it feels just out of reach.
Absolutely. And Eli's response, it wasn't what Daniel expected, probably not what any of us would expect, really.
Oh, what did he say?
He didn't say much at first. He just pointed to this old wooden bucket nearby. You could see it had cracks in it.
A cracked bucket.
Yep. And Eli told Daniel, "Take this bucket, go to the river every day for 1 week, fill with water, and then pour what's left into my well."
Okay, wait. A cracked bucket to fill a well. I mean, if I were Daniel, I'd be thinking, is this guy serious? Is this some kind of joke?
Right. It seems completely counterintuitive, maybe even futile.
How did Daniel even stick with that? It must have felt pointless.
Well, that says something about Daniel's character, doesn't it? He was surprised, obviously, but he accepted the task.
Okay.
And true to his nature, he was diligent. He did it. Walked in the hot sun every day, filled that leaky bucket, carried it back.
And most of the water leaked out, I assume?
Exactly. Just as you'd expect. By the time he got back to Eli's well, the bucket was almost empty, day after day.
Oh, man.
You can imagine how he felt. Disappointed, like a failure. I couldn't fill the well, you know. But he kept going. He persisted for the whole week.
Wow, that's dedication, even in the face of apparent failure. So what happened at the end of the week?
He goes back to Eli, tired, probably feeling pretty down, holding this nearly empty bucket. He says, "Grandpa, I failed. I couldn't fill the well."
And Eli?
Eli just smiles, a gentle smile. And he reassures him, "You didn't fail, Daniel. In fact," he says, "you did exactly what I wanted."
Okay, now I'm intrigued. What did he mean?
Eli then tells him something simple but powerful. He says, "Now turn around and look behind you."
And what did Daniel see?
Daniel turns, and he just stares. He can't believe his eyes.
Why? What was there?
The path. The path he'd walk back and forth on every day, which had been dry, dusty. It was now filled with flowers, vibrant flowers and lush green grass.
Wow.
Total shock. It's such a vivid image, isn't it? That unseen impact.
Yeah, incredible.
And Eli, with that wise look in his eyes, he explains it. He connects it right back to Daniel's big question.
What did he say?
He said, "The water that fell through the cracks of the bucket, that water gave life to the path. That water made the dry road green again."
Oh.
Okay, that clicks.
Right.
And that's where Eli really brings it home for Daniel, and, well, for us too. He lays out the core lessons so clearly. He says, "This is what life is like, Daniel. We all have flaws, just like the cracked bucket." Wow, that just hits differently, doesn't it? The idea that our imperfections, the things we see as cracks, might actually be useful, creating something.
It absolutely does. And what Eli is saying here is so counterintuitive, especially in our world that's so focused on goals, on perfection.
Yeah, definitely.
He's saying, look, true happiness, it doesn't just come from hitting the target, reaching in the goal.
Right.
It comes from valuing the journey to that goal. It's not the destination that matters most, it's the impact we leave behind along the way.
So it challenges that whole destination-focused mindset we often have completely. We're always chasing the next thing, the filled well. Eli suggests the real richness, the real meaning, is found in those methy bits, the process, the journey itself.
Okay, that makes sense intellectually, but in practical terms, how do we actually do that? How do we shift focus from the outcome, especially when, the world demands results?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And how do we learn to embrace those cracks, our weaknesses, our mistakes, as sources of impact, not just things holding us back?
Well, Eli's wisdom points us there. The cracked bucket, he implies, is a symbol. It represents our flaws, our mistakes, the struggles we face.
Yeah, okay.
We usually see those as problems, right? Things getting in the way of our perfect outcome.
Yeah, obstacles.
But the story shows so beautifully that even through those perceived shortcomings, even when we feel like we're failing at the main task, we're still creating something, still leaving a positive mark somewhere.
Like unintended positive consequences.
Exactly. It's about broadening our view, looking beyond the well you intended to fill, and noticing the path you unintentionally made green. It's about recognizing that impact.
So in that moment, hearing Eli's explanation, seeing the path, something really shifted inside Daniel.
You bet.
He got it. He understood that maybe even if he didn't achieve everything he thought he wanted, everything he was striving for, he was still making a difference. With every step, somewhere, somehow, he was creating beauty, even through his leaks.
It's like his efforts had a purpose he couldn't initially see, one bigger than just filling that well.
Yeah, a plan grander than his own narrow focus.
Precisely. So Daniel eventually returned to his village. And the story notes, he didn't have all the answers he thought he was looking for. No, but he came back with a lighter heart, a much deeper, more nuanced understanding of life.
That's powerful.
And what this teaches us, what really stands out, is how easily we get fixated on the end goal, right? The filled well.
Totally. Tunnel vision.
And we miss the whole landscape we're actually transforming along the way. We forget that the real beauty, the real impact, is often in the journey itself. It's in that water that spills, the stuff that nurtures things we didn't even plan for.
What a transformative lesson from the cracked bucket. It really makes you rethink what success even means, doesn't it?
It does.
Every effort we make, every step, no matter how imperfect or incomplete it feels in the moment, it really might be bringing light or life somewhere, somehow.
So maybe the question for you, as you navigate your own journey, striving for your own goals, is this. How might things change if you shifted your focus? What if you looked less at the cracks in your efforts, those things you see as failures or flaws, and started looking for the unseen green paths you might be cultivating along the way.
Yeah.
How might that redefine your own sense of success, your fulfillment? What hidden beauty are you creating right now, maybe without even realizing it?
Something definitely worth pondering, thinking about that perfectly imperfect journey we're all on.